Hey everyone, it's Jess. Welcome to Glue La La. In today's video, I'll be bringing to you 5 different ornaments that you can make. Now, I decided to make them in a rustic sort of cozy lodge style, but just by changing the paint and the ribbon and some of the embellishments, you can make them fit your personal decor aesthetic. Now, I also want to give a shout out to 2 of my friends that have channels. My one friend, Susan, she has a channel called Simply Susan, Historical Cooking and Sewing. I think that's the name of it. I'm going to link her channel down in the description box below. She has a really cool channel where she does a lot of cooking from historical periods, and she gives you this really great history lesson about everything that she's making, and she has done some sewing projects that are really pretty too. And then my other friends, Dave and Todd, they have a cooking channel called Fox Hallow, and Hallow is spelled Hallow, and they do a lot of cooking on their channel, and their recipes are really good, and I'll also link them down below too, so make sure you check them out. Alright, let's get started. To get started on our first ornament, you'll need one of these wooden boxes from the Dollar Tree. Now this is actually a box with a drawer, so you could technically make 2 ornaments out of one of these. But I'm just going to do the outside part for the video. So I'm going to take my favorite antique wax by Waverly, and I'm going to use it as a stain. So I'll brush it on and then wipe it off with a paper towel. After I had the whole box stained, I took one of these car wash cloths from the Dollar Tree, and it's nice and furry, so I decided to cut it into strips to wrap it around the box to make it look like a package. So the opening to the box is going to be on the bottom, and before I put the strips the whole way around, I did take a piece of jute twine to use as a hanger for the ornament, and I tied it in a knot and I glued it on the top, and then I cut a little slit in the strip so that I could run the loop from the jute twine through the cloth. Now my Christmas tree this year is going to have a lot of this black and white Buffalo Plaid on it, so I decided to take a piece of this ribbon and just glue it on top of the cloth strips that I put on the box. And then I'm just going to decorate the top with some greenery and some pine cones and some berries. But you could change that part up to fit whatever style you're doing on your Christmas tree this year. So our second ornament, I'm going to use these jumbo craft sticks that I found at Walmart, and they're a lot larger than the regular craft sticks that you would find at the Dollar Tree. And I found the easiest way for me to cut these and get straight edges is to use a paper trimmer like this one. So I'm going to cut 3 of the sticks down to 3.5 inches, and I'm going to cut 2 sticks down to 3 inches. And then I'm going to use the same technique with the Waverly antique wax, and I'm going to stain all of these pieces. Now, I didn't stain the back of mine, I only did the front, and I wish later that I would have stained the back too, because if it's hanging on the tree, you might end up seeing the back of the sticks too. So I would recommend you stain the front and the back of yours. So I'm going to lay down the 3.5 inch sticks, and I'm going to take the 2 3-inch sticks, and I'm going to glue one on the top and one on the bottom. And to me this kind of looks like a barn door, and then we'll decorate it with those wired garland pieces that I like to use from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to make it look like a wreath that's hanging in the center of the door. And you can see here, just to reinforce it a little bit, I did run a bead of hot glue on the back where the sticks connect. And you can see here, this is where I realized I should have stained the back of them too. But I'm just going to use one of these wired garland pieces, and I'm going to wrap it around to make a mini wreath shape. And then I'm going to use some of that black and white Buffalo Plaid ribbon to hang it on the little mini door we created. And then those beaded branches that I had used earlier, there's always little red beads that fall off of those. So I just took a few of those and glued it onto the wreath as well. Third ornament, I'm going to use some of these bamboo skewers that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut these down into 4-inch pieces. You'll need 5 of these because we're going to make a 5-pointed star. And big surprise, I used my favorite Waverly antique wax again, but surprisingly enough, these skewers, they must have a little bit of a coating on them because the wax didn't take quite as well as I would have liked. I mean, I still liked it, but I think if I would do this again, I would probably try to go find a branch or something just in my yard and just cut pieces of a branch and do it that way. So once I had all the pieces stained, I glued it into a star shape, and then to reinforce it a little bit, I wrapped jute around each of the star points and then each of the points where they connected in the center. And I'm using one of these chopping mats that I got from the Dollar Tree. These actually come in a 2-pack. But the hot glue doesn't stick to them. So you can kind of see I'm kind of globbing the glue on at the points. And you want to make sure that you really let it cool down before you try to pick it up, or else the star will start to come apart. decorate the top of this star, I just decided to tie a simple bow with that black and white Buffalo Plaid ribbon, and then I added a few of those red berries from those branches too. For the next ornament, I took a piece of scrap cardboard, and I'm just tracing out a triangle shape because we're going to make a twine covered Christmas tree. So you could make this any size that you wanted. I think mine was about 3 inches across the bottom, and then I measured up about 4 or 5 inches, I think, because I wanted kind of a tall, skinny tree. But you could make any shape triangle that you wanted, and it could be any size. So once you get the piece that you like, you're just going to start with your twine and start wrapping it around from the bottom up to the top. And as you get closer to the top, before you cover the whole thing, you want to add in another piece of twine to act as a hanger so that you can hang it on your tree, and then finish wrapping the twine around it so that it covers up where you put the hanger on. To create the base of the Christmas tree, I'm just going to use a scrap piece of one of those jumbo craft sticks, and I'm going to cover it in a piece of the car wash cloth and then wrap a piece of that black and white Buffalo Plaid ribbon around it. And then to decorate my Christmas tree, I just used some more of those red berries, and I just popped them on here and there. for the last ornament, I'm going to make a mini wreath to hang on the tree. So I took 2 of these wired pieces of garland and I twisted them together just to make it a little bit fuller. And then I used some of this berry garland and I cut one piece off and I wound it down one way, and then I realized I wanted a little bit more berries to show, so I took another piece and wrapped it around going the opposite direction. And then I just formed the whole thing into a ring, and I used a little bit of hot glue to secure it in place. To decorate the wreath, I took another scrap piece from one of those jumbo craft sticks and I cut it down to look like a tag shape, and I did stain it with the Waverly Antique Wax. And then once it was dry, I used a Sharpie paint marker in a white color, and I just wrote the word joy on it, and then I glued a piece of jute to the back of it so that I could attach it to the wreath. And at the top of the wreath, I just tied another simple bow and hooked that onto the top. Here's a look at all 5 of our ornaments together. I'm really excited about these, and I'm excited to put them on my Christmas tree this year. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. I think for me, I don't know, it's a toss-up. I like the little one we made that looks like a barn door, but I also really like how that box turned out. And I think the neat thing about the box is if you didn't want to hang it on the tree, you could also add it to like a 3-tiered tray display or on a mantle or something like that. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye!